All right, you just built a brand new PC and you intend to flip it for a profit.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Or maybe you have an old PC laying around and you start thinking,
I'm rich, bitch!
well, jokes aside here, selling a PC can actually be really confusing for some, as many of you out there still actually comment on a lot of my videos asking me how to price out your gaming PC and like how much you should sell it for. And now I actually made a tip video on selling your PC before, and I went into a bunch of detail about how I get a PC ready to sell, whether it be all new parts or used or a combination of both. And a lot of that information still applies today, so I'll link the video up here for you guys. But the one thing I still get constantly asked about is, how much should I sell my PC for? I sort of touched on it in that old video, but I didn't go into really as much detail as everything else. So there actually are a few more factors that can come into play when trying to sell a PC and price it out, so let's jump straight into it. Okay, you have a PC to sell. For my example, I'm going to use a couple I just built here on the channel recently, and so, where do you start? Well, I always personally ask myself a couple of questions when I'm trying to price out my PC. First, are there components in the PC that are all brand new? Are they used, or are they a mixture of both? And now I'm going to show you how to easily find prices for both types of parts and add them up. Starting off with a PC that has all brand new components, it's very easy. Now I got one right here that we just built on the channel. You guys may have seen that video. I usually like to use a site called PCPartPicker.com, and that allows me to search for and input all of the components that are in the PC. And even if they don't have the exact part you're looking for, or like the color, you can still usually get to something that is very close to what you have on hand, so you can get a total price for your build. Now let's quickly take a look on the computer real quick at this PC's price sheet. So hopping into PC Part Picker, you guys, this thing is very intuitive, very helpful for you. It's super easy. You'll normally start with a blank sheet right here, but you can see that I have already put in the entire build that we did here on the channel. So every single part that I used in that video should be in here right here, and you can see it's all put in each one of these little sections for each of the components. So all you got to do when it's blank, you just click it, and then it'll take you to a list of all the different processors you can get. Right now it's only showing AMD because we are using an AMD motherboard, and PC Part Picker is really good at that. It has a compatibility filter, so you can't choose products that will not work with the chosen motherboard and everything like that. So it really helps you out if you're, even if you're just trying to build a computer. So you can see we have everything inputted right here that we use in our build, and then it gives you a nice little grand total there at the bottom. So it's a good way to go ahead and price out everything that you're going to be doing to go ahead and give you a starting point where you want to price your build when you go ahead and put it on some kind of commerce site. Another thing PC Part Picker allows you to do is if you did actually use anything used. So in this build, I did use a Ryzen 7 3700X that I already had on hand. So I've had it for a couple of years. So I actually just went ahead and searched for it on eBay and saw like a median price of what it goes for. So I chose 175 bucks is what it's worth right now, and I went ahead and put that in there. So you can do that as well. And then if you actually want to put the entire PC Part Picker list in your listing, you can actually click it right here and copy it, and then it will let you go ahead and paste that into your listing. So someone can just click it right there and it'll take them right to the part list, and it will show how much the parts are worth. Okay, so that last PC, that was all basically new parts, but what if you have a PC that is mainly used parts? Now maybe you might have like a new part here or there, but like what if you have a completely old PC that you kind of need to figure out what these parts are worth these days. So we have a good example right here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my K-Swap Dell Optiplex 3020 that we did here on the channel. Video up here somewhere if you guys want to see that. But anyway, it's got a lot of used stuff in here, and we can kind of go ahead and use a certain site to price this out. And what I like to use is eBay, because eBay is usually a really good gauge of what used prices are kind of going, or used parts are going for these days. So I've already pulled it up here on the screen for you guys. It has a GTX 1060 6GB in it, so I decided to search for that real quick. And just for an example, it looks like they're going for somewhere around $180, $190 right now, maybe a little bit cheaper just depending on the model. But I haven't, I'm gonna try to look for it. I haven't seen the exact model pop up here yet, but either way, it looks like the buy it nows are going for about 180 bucks. So that's what I'm gonna do. So what I kind of do, it's a little old fashioned, but this is the kind of way you got to do it with like all these kind of used parts. I kind of just bring up a Google Doc sheet, and then I say, I put the pricing sheet out right here, and I say GPU. I'm gonna go, it's a gigabyte GTX 1060. type Ricky 1060 6 gig, and then I just kind of say, I put the pricing in here, 180 bucks. There we go. And that way, when you actually post this onto an e-commerce site, or like Facebook Marketplace, or you know, if you want to sell on eBay, whatever you want to do, you can actually have a full list of every single one of your components, and you have all of their prices right there. So you can add it up at the very end, get yourself a total, and then you can go from there. And of course, if you added some brand new parts to some of your used parts, you can always price those out too, because the PC we're talking about right now, of course, has new parts in it as well, like the case, the power supply, and actually I think the CPU cooler was brand new as well. So what I do for that, I simply just go to a commerce site like Amazon or Newegg, and I look up just what the new price is and what it's going for right now. And then I just kind of add that price into my price sheet. And that way, like I said, at the very end, you'll have a total, even if it's just used parts or a combination of both, you'll easily be able to find your total, and then you can go from there. But wait, you probably noticed by now that I didn't include the price of Windows 10 in either of the price lists. Well, that's because our sponsor, VIP URCD Key, has us covered with fully licensed Windows 10 Pro OEM codes that work all around the world for under 15 bucks using our promo code RAV20. No more need to pay over $100 to get Windows 10 on your PC flips. These codes are completely legit and will allow you to upgrade to Windows 11 as well if you want to. So check them out at the link in the description and save yourself some money. Okay, now that you have your total price for everything you have in your system, is that it? Well, honestly guys, that is up to you. You can simply just try to recoup the cost of your parts and break even based on that total if you want to, or you can go ahead and add a little bit on the top for your time and energy building the PC. And now I don't mean anything super crazy, but maybe like 50 to 100 bucks to say that this PC is built well, it's tested, and it's ready to go for the next user. Now guys, if you guys are into flipping PCs, obviously you want to do this for a profit. So you know, it's totally okay. You just got to find a point that you are comfortable with charging somebody else to, you know, for your time and for your energy. And actually that kind of goes with what kind of, you know, parts that you went ahead and put in your PC, or what kind of extras it comes with. So really you got to make that decision on your own, and I am not against it at all because I flip PCs. I make a little bit of extra money on the side doing it, and I think it's totally okay. Now, if you're going to go ahead and do this, guys, and essentially start flipping PCs for profit, like I said, I highly encourage you to test every PC you build by using some sort of stress test software so you know you're selling a perfectly working PC and you're not going to scam someone. Don't be that person, you guys. So something else you might want to do is go ahead and game on it a little bit and provide a benchmark or two so the potential buyer can get an idea of what kind of performance it has. Another thing, you might want to also clean the PC out if it's dirty so that it can actually be presented to the buyer nice and clean, and you know, it'll look better in pictures as well. And another thing that I always tell everybody to do is go ahead and reset the PC with a fresh install of Windows 10 to start from. I go over the whole reset process in my previous video, so if you guys need a tutorial on how to do that, go ahead and check out the video. It'll be linked up here or down in the description so you guys can go ahead and do that. Anyway guys, that's all there really is to it. It's pretty simple stuff, but I felt like I needed to explain it a little bit better since I've been asked about it so much. And the only other tips I can give you are to make sure you use a clear list and a description of what you have, so a potential buyer, you know, will know everything about the PC, so you can avoid someone kind of like haggling you into the ground like some people like to do. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, smash that subscribe button so you can help this channel grow. And also, you guys, you know the YouTube algorithm is super weird, so, you know, just go ahead and leave me a little comment down below. Whatever you want to do. You know, if you can't think of something to say, well, I love you. So there, respond to that. Say something to that. There, that should help you out. Anyway, have an awesome day, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.